Just a second. Yeah. So we begin with discussing the concept of equivalent units today. Equivalent units in itself, as I was saying, is an important aspect of your attempt to come. So first of all, let us understand what. Let's go from scratch. Let's go from scratch so that we are able to get the underlying message of equivalent units. Now, what is the meaning of equivalent units? First of all, let us rediscuss that concept. What is an equivalent unit? A unit is an equivalent unit when it is not completely ready. For example, if I have 10,000 units completely ready, I have 10,000 units completely ready, and I have 5,000 units that are 50% ready. I will say that I have 12,500 equivalent units. What is the meaning of equivalent units? 5,000 units that are 50% ready are equivalent to 2,500 units. And on a total basis, I have 10,000 plus 2,500 units. So I have a production which is equivalent to 12,500 units. That right there is the meaning of the term equivalent units. So when I say that I have 10,000 units that are 80% ready, I have 4,000 units that are 60% ready, I have 8,000 plus 2,400, which is equal to 10,400 equivalent units. Equivalent means approximately equal to, something that comes close to, but which is not equal exactly. So see, 10,000 units that are 80% ready, 10,000 units that are 80% ready is 8,000 units approximately. 4,000 units that are 60% ready is 2,400 units approximately. So these are 10,400 units approximately equivalent, not necessarily equal to. See, if I had to use the word equal, I would use the word equal. Why is the word equivalent there in the English dictionary? It means almost like that, but not like that. For all those of us who watch cricket, you might make a metaphor that Viren Sehwag was equivalent to Sachin Tendulkar in style and technique. Sometimes when at the beginning, when you saw Sehwag batting, you felt it is actually Sachin Tendulkar. At the very, very beginning, if you were watching cricket at that point in time, you thought, "Arey, this is Sachin Tendulkar." That's how he looked. Equivalent to Sachin Tendulkar was not Sachin Tendulkar. See, Sehwag is a great batsman in his own form. He'll always be. But he was equivalent to Sachin Tendulkar. Are you understanding what I'm trying to say? So if you say that Sehwag was 80% like Sachin, you say Sehwag is equivalent to Sachin. Are you understanding the concept of equivalent units? Now, one important question that you are going to face off in your journey in this particular chapter is calculation of equivalent units under various modes and methods of calculation. Understand the concept that there are two methods that you have in your USCMA for calculating equivalent units. The first is FIFO method, first in, first out, and second is weighted average method. Now, please understand in FIFO method what happens. FIFO method, you can distinguish between your production. You can distinguish between your produced units is the word I will say. It doesn't matter. Yeah, we just started. It doesn't matter that you are all producing this one same unit of calculator or this one same unit of digital pen, or you are probably making this one same unit of the mobile phone. It doesn't matter. All of this doesn't matter. What matters is you can distinguish between the units. The unit will have a specific serial number code somewhere. It will have some stamp somewhere. Somewhere you can say that these units can be distinguished from one another. But when you take into consideration beverage manufacturers or shampoo manufacturers or hair oil manufacturers, how can they distinguish? It's very difficult. Say you are taking into consideration Coca-Cola. Coca-Cola is a black fluid. You have Coca-Cola in one drum and you are putting in more Coca-Cola. The Coca-Cola in the drum, existing Coca-Cola, gets mixed with the fresh Coca-Cola that you have put in. How can you open a tap and take the Coca-Cola out and say, okay, this Coca-Cola is fresh, this Coca-Cola was earlier there? You can't do that. That's not possible. As goes in the case of drinking water packaged drinking water that you get. How can you hold a glass of water and say that, okay, this water in this glass, 80% is from batch A and 20% is from batch B. The water is mixed. Can you distinguish? You can't. The water is mixed. So VAM is used when you cannot distinguish between the products that you're using. You cannot distinguish between the products. For example, Coca-Cola, Pepsi, etc. You can distinguish between the units that you're making. Dell laptops, OnePlus mobiles. You can distinguish between these items, even though they are identical. Even if they are identical, you can distinguish between them. You can distinguish between them. That's an important aspect for you to consider. Now, what happens is, production happens in phases. Just because the production cycle is over does not mean all the units are ready and they're produced. Absolutely not. Production cycle can get over. Some units will stay incomplete. Production cycle can get over, but some units are still under process, or I will use the word semi-finished. In the world of costing, semi-finished is called work in progress. Semi-finished is called work in progress. Now what happens? You take into consideration an opening stock. That is probably, you can say 80% finished. This was 80% finished in the last period. In the current period, this is the opening stock of current period, of current year. In the current period, what will you do? 20% will be completed. 20% will be completed. Please keep that much in mind. 20% will be completed. Apart from this, you will start some units now. Let's say that you have started 10,000 units now. Out of these 10,000 units, let me assume that 8,000 are started and completed. What about the balance 2,000? What about the balance 2,000? The balance 2,000 are started but not completed. They become your closing stock. What do they become? They become your closing stock. This is an important aspect for you to remember. Closing stock doesn't stem out of the ground. Closing stock are those units that you started manufacturing in this period, but unfortunately you are not able to complete their manufacture. That is why they are closing stock of WIP. That is why they are closing stock of WIP. Suppose their manufacture is completed and you have decided logically, economically, financially not to sell them, then they are your closing stock of finished goods, completed goods. They are not your WIP. They are not your WIP. You need to keep this much in mind. It has to be in your head. Keep this much in your mind. I hope you understand this. Give me a thumbs up, all of my attendees, if you're understanding this concept. Give me a thumbs up if you're understanding this concept. Anybody who has a question to ask regarding this is free to ask me a question here. Ki what I just said, I've not understood. Whatever, XYZ, you're free to ask me that question. I repeat.
Can you explain again, sir?
Yeah. Happily. Don't worry. Now see, understand the concept. You have got certain goods. Okay, now 1 second. Can somebody who is sitting with a laptop, please take a screenshot? Can somebody help me for that? Can I have one volunteer for that? Who will do it? One person, can you take screenshots? One person. Somebody with a laptop, can you please help me? Who will do it? One person with a laptop. Can somebody help me out, please?
I'll do it. I'll do it.
Yeah, thanks. Thanks. Just put it onto a blank PowerPoint slide. Start pasting it. Right? Take this, paste it. If it's taken and I'm rubbing it, can I rub it off? Can I rub it?
No, no, no. Just please bear with me. I'm just opening the PPT.
Yeah.
Yep, done.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Thanks. Okay. Now, there's a doubt. No problem. I have an opening stock of 12,000 units. That is 80% complete. That is 80% complete. I transferred 25,000 units to sale department. I transferred 25,000 units to sale department. This is what I'm saying. Now, my first question is, how many units did you complete in this period? The answer is very simple. Or rather, I'll redraft this. How many units did you work on? Now, please understand. These 12,000 units, 80% was completed. So 20% was work on, which is 2,400 equivalent units. What is the meaning of this? The work you did to finish this incomplete opening stock is equivalent to 2,400 units. The work you did to finish this incomplete opening stock is equivalent to 2,400 units. Now you transferred 25,000 units. Out of this 25,000 units, 12,000 units are ready, are there in the form of your opening stock. So in this period, you have started and completed how many units? You started and completed 13,000 units. How? 25,000 is totally transferred. Out of this 25,000, 12,000 was your opening stock. So what is the balance? Balance is 13,000, which you started also in this period and you completed also in this period and you transferred out also in this period. Keep this much in mind. Do you understand the concept? Do you understand the logic now, ladies and gentlemen? Yes or no? Now give me a thumbs up. At least 20% better than your earlier understanding. Is it better? Yes or no? Give me a thumbs up for your understanding so that I know that I'm going in the right direction with the batch. Right? Everybody understands? Everybody understands? Yes? Yes? Fair enough. Fair enough. My assumption is you do. Now, let me continue. Please take a screenshot. Let me know when taken. Can I rub?
Sir, why not from LIFO method? There's only two methods, FIFO and weighted average method.
You do not have LIFO. You do not have LIFO for your costing syllabus. You do not have LIFO for your costing syllabus for this part. You have FIFO and weighted average only.
Sir, in this period, we worked on 2,400 units also, no, which were not completed.
No, you did not work on 2,400 units. You worked on these 12,000 units. And what you worked on is equivalent to 2,400 units. So how many units did you complete after doing this equivalent work? Now these 12,000 units are 100% ready. So they are ready and they can be transferred. How many did you transfer? 25,000. Weighted average method also works on FIFO philosophy only. Once this is ready, it will go out. Here I am talking purely FIFO. If you have transferred 25,000, to transfer this 25,000, first these 12,000 are ready with you. What will you send out first? This 12,000, correct?
Yes.
Correct?
Yes.
Then you are totally transferring 25. You transferred 12. How much balance is left?
13,000.
That you transfer now. So these 13,000, were they ready in the starting? No. You started them from 0% and you came up to 100% for these 13,000. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
That is why they are started as well as completed.
Got it.
But if I say that I started 20,000 units, can I say that 7,000 is my closing stock of work in progress? Why? I say that I started 20,000, but 13,000 was started and completed. So obviously, what about these 7,000? They were started and not completed. They were started and not completed. Are you with me on that?
Yes, sir.
Do you understand?
Yes.
Got it? Started and not completed. Right? Understood?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, yes.
Okay. Now, let's take an example. Let's take an example. Opening stock of work in progress is 10,000 units that are 90% completed. That are what? 90% completed. Units transferred are 20,000. Units transferred are 20,000. And units started are 25,000. Units started at 25,000. The unfinished units are 80% ready. The unfinished units are 80% ready. Apply FIFO. Apply FIFO and calculate equivalent units. Apply FIFO and do what? Calculate equivalent units. Now, I don't want anybody to participate in any discussion. You are only going to pay attention to me, and at every stage, you are going to give me a thumbs up if you understood. I'm going to actually write down comments for you to understand everything thoroughly, and then I'll back this up with MCQs from the exam support package. Shall I begin? Pay attention. I start off my statement by saying that you have got 10,000 units that were 90% ready. So when you start this period's production, you will first finish those 10,000 units. Agreed or disagreed? Agreed or disagreed? I want participation.
Agreed.
Your thumbs up.
Agreed.
You can unmute and talk. Absolutely no problem. Don't be shy. Your voice will go on YouTube. You'll become a celebrity. Okay. Got it? Now, I repeat. There were 10,000 units. They were 90% ready. When I start my production, I will work on the balance 10%. The balance 10% of those 10,000 units can be said to be that I have as good as worked on 1,000 units. When I complete these 90% completed units, it is as good as saying that I worked on approximately 1,000 units. Why? This was the balance work to be done. This was balance completion required. Give me a thumbs up if you understood this, yes or no. Give me a thumbs up if you understood this, yes or no. Now, I have transferred, 456. Go on, please ask. 456.
No, sir. I was giving the thumbs up, sir. Sorry.
No problem. Now, I have transferred 20,000 units. No problem. No problem. I transferred 20,000 units. My dear friends, I am following first in, first out. The opening stock is ready and it is ready to be transferred. How many units are there in opening stock after I did this work? These 10,000 units are ready after I did 10% work. Use your common sense. What will you finish first? What is incomplete? Or will you start an absolutely new story? You will finish what is incomplete. So when you open up this period's production, and you say that let me begin, you will begin by finishing all those items that were already incomplete. So first you will complete a work equivalent to 1,000 units. Therefore, you will have ready with you in your hands these 10,000 units. Am I clear about this? Yes or no? Please tell me that. This is my second statement, nowhere to be found in any explanations. You started your factory, you saw that 10,000 units are partially completed, you got your laborers to work on them, and those 10,000 units work that you completed on them was equivalent to the work on 1,000 units, and because of that equivalent work that you achieved, you now have 10,000 units ready to be sent ahead. Do you understand this concept? Give me a thumbs up, yes or no, please.
Yes.
Now, how many units did you send ahead? How many you sent ahead? You have sent ahead 20,000 units. Out of this, clearly from the opening stock, there are 10,000 units. What about the balance? What about the balance? The balance was another 10,000 units. Sir, how did you get 10,000? Common sense, 20 minus 10, 10,000. What are these units? These units have no trace of existing when I opened the warehouse. I started these units now and I completed them now. That is why I can transfer them. Can I transfer a semi-finished goods? I cannot. What did I do? I started and I completed. Okay. Then I asked my manager, these are the units that you started and completed. What are the number of units that you actually started working on? You started working on 25. Out of this 25, 10,000 are ready. What does it mean? It means that 15,000 are yet unfinished. What is this? This is called the closing stock of work in progress. How much unfinished are they? They are 20% unfinished. That is meaning they are 80% ready. That means on this 15,000 units, you have worked 80%. It is as good as saying that you have worked on this 15,000 units 80%. It is as good as saying that the work that you have done on this 15,000 units, it is equivalent to 12,000 units. Do you understand this concept? No, it does not mean that. Your thing is wrong. What you are saying is wrong. What you are saying is wrong. What you are saying is wrong. Divya, what you are saying is wrong. Listen to the commentary again. Listen to the commentary again. When you opened the warehouse, how many units did you have? 10,000. They were 90% ready. You will first complete them. If 10,000 units are 90% ready, that means 10% work is to be done on 10,000 units. That quantity of work that you did on those 10,000 units is equivalent to 1,000 units. Next, after doing this equivalent work on those semi-finished units, you have ready with you 10,000 units which can be sent ahead for sales. You have sent ahead 20,000 units for sales. Oh, but out of this 20, 10 came from where? Your opening stock. What about the balance? This balance you have made now, means in this period you started and you completed these 10,000 units. But your manager is telling you that we have started 25,000 units. Out of those 25,000 units, 10,000 are started and completed. Means how many are incomplete? 15,000 are incomplete. And they are incomplete to the extent of 20%, means they are 80% complete. They are 80% complete. If they are 80% complete, if 15,000 units are 80% complete, can I say that it is equivalent to 12,000 units being ready? Can I say that it is equivalent to 12,000 units being ready? Agreed or disagreed? Agreed or disagreed? Please tell me.
Agreed, sir.
Agreed?
Agreed.
So in this period, how many units did I actually work? I mean, how many units did I prepare in this period? I prepared 1000 plus 10,000 plus 12,500, which is 23,500 units. Sir, I didn't understand this at all. How did 23,500 come? Don't worry. For this, I will write a note and give it to you. But right now, I want a screenshot of this to be there with you in your notebooks, because now I will draw a chart to explain this with you, and then I'll do sums to solidify this in your minds. Please take a screenshot of this.
So is it 12,000 or 12,500?
Oh, it is 12,000. I beg pardon. It is 12,000. So it will be 23,000. I beg pardon. So it will be 23,000. Human error. I ask for forgiveness. I move to the next one. I hope a screenshot is taken. Is it taken? Respond
Yes, sir.
quickly, guys. Come on.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, see what I'm saying next. Now, I'm writing down a simple funda for you. Opening stock. Units multiplied by percentage completed now. Units multiplied by percentage completed now. Next, I'm writing started and completed. Transferred minus total opening stock. Then I'm writing closing stock. Units multiplied by percentage completed now. What is the addition of all of this? This is your equivalent units under first in, first out. This is your equivalent units under first in, first out. Now, let us put this in an example, our earlier example. Opening stock of WIP is equal to 10,000 units, 90% ready. Units transferred to sales department is equal to 20,000. Units started in this period 25,000. Calculate equivalent units under Fifo. Very simple. My first question, when you open the warehouse, what is the first unit that you will touch? Will it be out of these 10,000 units? Yes or no? Give me a thumbs up.
Yes, sir.
You will do some work on them? Yes or no? Give me a thumbs up.
Yes, sir.
That work that you do on them will make them 100% ready. Today they are 90% ready. Means you have done 10% hard work on them. Yes or no? You have done 10% hard work on them. That 10% hard work that you did on these 10,000 units is equivalent, is equal to, is equivalent, is equivalent, is equivalent, is equivalent to what? To 1,000 units. Opening stock. Opening stock. How many units? 10,000. Percentage completed now. Completed now. How much percentage is that? 10%. 1,000. Next. Started and completed. Now, before I start and complete other units, because of this work that I have done of 1,000 units, can I say that now 10,000 units of one batch is ready? Can I say that 10,000 units of one batch is ready? Can I say that? Yes or no? Please tell me. Can I say that
Yes, sir.
10,000 units of one batch is ready? Yes or no? Please tell me. Can
Yes,
I say
sir.
like that? 1,000 units of one batch is ready? Sorry, 10,000 units of one batch is ready.
Yes, sir.
Because of this 1,000 units that I have worked, can I say now that this entire batch of 10,000 units is now 100% ready? Can I say like that? Yes or no? Guys, Come on, give me a response. Don't keep quiet.
Yes, sir.
Because of the work that I did, this 1000, this 10% work that I did, now can I say that these 10,000 units are totally ready? So I am sitting with 10,000 units that are ready to be sent to sales. Common sense dictates that when I sell anything to sales department, it has to be complete. It has to be complete. Okay. I have sent 20,000 to sales department. Out of that, 10,000 are my opening stock. I have not started this in this period. It's not started in this period. Merely completed. Agreed or disagreed? These 10,000 units are semi-cooked. I started cooking them last period. I just finished it right now. Did I start them in this period? No, I did not. But I transferred 20,000. Out of that, 10,000 was, partially done in this period. Means the other 10,000 that I transferred were started also now and they were completed also now. That is why I was able to transfer them. Agreed or disagreed? Please tell me that.
Agreed, sir.
Agreed or disagreed? Please tell me that. Out of the
Agreed, sir.
10,000, this is the total that I transferred. Out of this total, 10,000 were not started in this period. They were merely completed in this period. So what did I start and complete in this period? This 10,000 units. Yes or no? Please tell me. Yes or no? Please tell me.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And I have a closing stock. I have a closing stock. Now look at what I'm saying. This is balance units. What is balance units? Balance units is units started minus units or units started now minus units started and completed. Why you are saying like that? My dear friends, I started how many units in this period? 25,000. Can I say that this 10,000 is a part of these 25,000 units? Yes or no? Please tell me that. Because I started this now. You must understand that this 10,000 that you are seeing here is a part of that 25,000. Are Baba, you started the manufacturing work of 25,000 now. Out of that, you completed 10,000. That is why, no, see, you finished first the last period, whatever was incomplete. Then what you're going to do? Hatch eggs in this period. You're not actually hatching eggs. You started doing some work. Now you are saying that I completed 10,000 units. Are Baba, you started? No, then those 10,000 units. No, I started 25. Are okay, you started 25. But out of that 25, how much you started and completed? I started and completed 10,000. That means 15,000 is incomplete. No. Yes or no? Yes or no? Come on. Respond.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
15,000 is incomplete. How much is complete out of that? It was given 80%, correct? I had given it 80%. So, unit started in this period? Yes. Is 80% complete. So, this 15,000 is not completed. How much you completed? Sir, 80% I completed. Oh, you have done the work. Okay, fair enough, fair enough. 15,000 units are 80% ready. It's as good as saying you have worked on 12,000 units. 15,000 units are 80% ready. It's as good as saying that you have worked on 12,000 units. So how many units are equivalently ready manufactured in this period? The answer is 23,000. What is this? Equivalent units under Fifo. What is this? Equivalent units under Fifo. Do we understand this concept? Yes or no? Give me a thumbs up. Yes or no? Give me a thumbs up. Come on, guys. I'm waiting for responses from you. Understanding? Understanding? Fair enough. Fair enough. Fair enough. I'm getting responses. Don't worry. Now, this is crucially important for all of you. This is crucially important for all of you. Take a screenshot of this. If somebody is going to write this down right now, I will patiently wait for him or her. I will patiently wait for him or her. No questions asked. Take screenshots. Take screenshots. I'm assuming screenshot is taken. Can I go ahead? Can I go ahead? Yes? Okay. Now, let's come to a support package. Let's come to a support package. Don't want to waste time. I want to straight away jump into the thick of things.
So if we go through weighted average method for the same example, could you make this?
We'll do weighted average after we finish FIFO.
Okay.
First FIFO, then weighted average. First, पक्का करना है FIFO को. Then we'll do weighted average. Is that acceptable? So FIFO will be out of the picture for us. We'll first perfect FIFO, then we'll perfect weighted average. Don't worry. Acceptable?
Daniel sir.
Let's go ahead. Question 61. Jones Corporation uses a FIFO process costing system. They've told you that they are using FIFO. Jones has the following unit information for the month of August. Unit information for what? For the month of August. Is unit information for the month of August. Okay. Beginning WIP inventory is 100% complete for materials and 75% complete for conversion costs. Why are they writing like this over here? Why they are saying 100% complete for one and 75% complete for other? Don't worry. I will discuss that in depth with you after this particular example is over. But right now, let's pay attention. So can I say that this beginning inventory, can I say that this beginning inventory is 75% complete? Can I say that it is 75% complete? Agreed or disagreed? Because it is 75% complete for conversion cost, means it is 75% complete. Yes or no, please tell me that. Yes or no, please tell me that. Do you
Yes,
understand?
sir.
Next, units completed and transferred out are 90,000 in this period. Total units completed and transferred out are 90,000. And at the end, I am left with 8,000 units that are 60% completed for conversion costs. Equivalent units for conversion costs is how much? Fair enough. Let me begin my statement. Let me begin my statement by saying that in this period, you had 10,000 units sitting on the shop floor. You had 10,000 units sitting on the shop floor. And out of those 10,000 units, they were 75% completed. They were how much? They were 75% completed. They were 75% completed. What is the meaning of that? What is the meaning of that? That 25% work, is yet to be done. Yes or no? That 25% work is yet to be done. Agreed or disagreed? Please tell me that.
Agreed sir.
Correct? To this, I will add started and completed. Started and completed is equal to what? Transferred minus total opening stock. Because of this work done, comma, now I have 10,000 units to transfer. Agreed or disagreed? Because of this work done, now I have 10,000 units to transfer. Agreed or disagreed? Tell me that now. Yes or no?
Agreed, sir.
How many did I transfer? I transferred 90,000. Out of that, 10,000 was opening stock. So how many did I start and complete? 80,000. Out of these 90,000, these were done in this period, completed in this period. They have not started. So how many did I start as well as complete? 80,000 units. Agreed or disagreed? Agreed or disagreed?
Agreed, sir.
I have a closing stock of 8,000 units. I have a closing stock of 8,000 units, which are 60% completed. 88,000 units. 8,000 units. 8,000 units. 8,000 units. 8,000 units. 8,000 units are 60%, 60%, 60%, 60% completed is as good as saying that 8,000 units, 60% completed is as good as saying that I have 4,800 units. 4,800 units, the hard work and the effort and the materials that it requires is as good as saying that is 60% of the hard work and the materials and the labor and everything on 8,000 units. Are you all with me on that? Are you all with me on that? How many units did I finish? Titularly 87,300. Equivalently 87,300 units I finished. This is the number of equivalent units. This is your answer. I hope you're with me on that. I hope you're with me on that. Do you understand this concept? Yes or no? Please tell me.
Yes, sir.
100%?
Yes, sir.
100%? Okay.
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
Let's take a screenshot of this. Let's take a screenshot of this. Let's take a screenshot of this. Let me know when taken. Let me know when taken. Let me know when taken. I'm assuming taken. Let's go ahead. Let's go ahead. Now, there was a dialogue here that 100% complete for materials or something. Now, please understand what that means. Please understand what that means. Whenever you start production, comma, costing or cost accounting, as a rule of thumb, makes an assumption all materials are added at the very beginning and then they are processed over the period. What is the meaning of they are processed? You apply to them labor and you apply to them overheads. Of course, direct labor, because indirect labor will fall under overheads. Indirect material will fall under overheads. What happens because of this? Because of this, all your closing stock and even opening stock will always be completed from the viewpoint of materials, but they will be incomplete from the viewpoint of labor and overheads. From the viewpoint of labor and overheads. Now, it is from the viewpoint of labor and overheads that we use the term conversion. Therefore, in most cases, material is 100% ready and conversion is partially ready. And conversion is partially ready. This is a concept note. This is a concept note. How will this be useful for me? This will be useful for you in solving cost allocation questions. This will be useful for you in solving cost allocation questions. Of course, there will be a shortcut that I give you for calculations. But before that shortcut is given to you, I will, of course, be very much interested in teaching you the logic and the concept behind it. I hope this is understood by all. I hope this is understood by all. Yes or no, please tell me that. Yes or no, please tell me that. Have you understood what note I have written over here? That materials are ready, but what is not ready? What is not ready is the conversion is not yet ready. Do you understand this? Yes or no, please tell me that.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So even when I say that materials are ready, that means closing stock and even the opening stock will always be completed from the viewpoint of materials. Means they'll be completed means they'll be 100% ready from the viewpoint of materials. So if I was to say that I've got 12,000 units of closing stock, which are 80% ready from conversion perspective, what am I trying to say? I'm trying to say 12,000 units are ready for material. No work of material is left. But these 12,000 units have been done the equivalent work of 9,600 units for conversion. Take a screenshot of this. 1 second. Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. Take a screenshot of this. What I just said, I'll put it in concept note number 2. I'll put it in concept note number 2. Right? Please write down. Please copy down or whatever. Screenshot. And just respond quickly if the screenshot is taken. I keep asking like this. It's a waste of the lecture. Come on.
Answer.
Now, suppose if I say, I wrote 12,000 there, right? Let me take 12,000. Let me say that 12,000 units are in the closing stock. Which are 100% ready from the point of materials and 80% ready from the point of conversion costs. 12,000 units are split into two from the angle of materials and from the angle of overheads. With respect to materials, 12,000 units are 100% ready. Therefore, I can say that with respect to materials, you have incurred a cost on 12,000 units. You have incurred a cost on how many units? 12,000 units. Do you agree with this statement? Because they're 100% ready. Do you understand this statement? Give me a thumbs up if you understand this statement. Give me a thumbs up if you understand this statement. That 12,000 units, all the material work is done. So the material cost that you've incurred on these 12,000 units is for full 12,000 units. But now here, overheads are 80% ready, which is 9,600 units. So with respect to overheads, on these units, you have incurred a cost equivalent to 9,600 units. Equivalent to how many units? Equivalent to 9,600 units. Are you understanding what I'm trying to say? What I'm trying to say is you worked on 12,000 units. Out of that, you finished the work of materials. So 100% of the material work is ready. But what about the overheads? What about the overheads? Overheads, only 80% of the work is ready. So if 80% of the work is ready with respect to overheads, it shows that equivalent to 9,600 units, you have done the work. Equivalent to 9,600 units, you have done the work. Are you understanding this? Yes or no? Please tell me that. Are you understanding this? Yes or no? Please tell me that.
Yes, sir.
I will digress to Hindi because I've given ample explanation to in English. Now listen. आपके पास 12,000 यूनिट थे. उन यूनिट में सबसे पहले आपने मटेरियल घुसा दिया, तो मटेरियल का पूरा काम हो गया और कोई मटेरियल डालना नहीं है. मटेरियल डाल दिया आपने. अब मटेरियल का करना क्या है? अब उसको प्रोसेस करना है. मतलब लेबर और ओवरहेड का काम अब बचता है. किसका काम बचता है? अब लेबर और ओवरहेड का काम बचता है. आई बात समझ में? इसका मतलब यह है कि 12,000 जो यूनिट आपने काम करना चालू कर दिया, उन हर एक 12,000 यूनिट में मटेरियल का काम खत्म हो गया. पर उन 12,000 यूनिट्स में ओनली 80% यूनिट्स, मतलब 9,600 यूनिट्स का ओवरहेड का काम खत्म हो गया. बचा कितना? बचा 20%. मतलब कितना? 2,400 यूनिट्स. वो 2,400 यूनिट्स के ऊपर अभी भी ओवरहेड्स का काम करना बाकी है. वो कब करेंगे? अगले पीरियड में करेंगे. तो ये पीरियड में अगर मैं बोलूं कि तुमने टोटल यूनिट्स कितने फिनिश किए, टोटली कितना रेडी है, मैं कहूंगा टोटली सर मेरा 9,600 रेडी है. कैसे सर? आप बोलोगे ये 2,000, अरे राजा ये 2,400 यूनिट्स पे मटेरियल इज रेडी, पर व्हाट अबाउट ओवरहेड्स? पर व्हाट अबाउट ओवरहेड्स? उसका क्या? इज दैट रेडी? इट इज नॉट येट रेडी. इसका मतलब ये होता है 12,000 यूनिट में से टोटली 100% रेडी कितने यूनिट्स हो गए? 9,600. सो इक्विवेलेंट प्रोडक्शन कितना हुआ? 9,600 का, फ्रॉम द पर्सपेक्टिव ऑफ होम? क्लोजिंग स्टॉक. आई बात समझ में? येस और नो? प्लीज टेल मी दैट. येस और नो? प्लीज टेल मी दैट.
Yes, sir.
तो यदि मैं कहूं कि मटेरियल का कॉस्ट 12 लाख है, इट्स 12 lakhs, what is my cost per unit with respect to materials? The answer will be 100. How? But if I say that my overhead cost that I incurred in this period is $1 million, this $1 million is incurred for how many units? 9,600 units. Therefore, it is 104.167 per unit. Therefore, it is how much? 104.167 per unit. Are you understanding what I'm trying to say? Yes or no? This is a very crucial aspect over here. Very, very crucial aspect over here. Do you understand this?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Everyone, do you understand this?
So a question here.
Yeah, please.
So the overhead cost, which you said it's around $10 lakh, so that should be divided by 12,000 and the
Wrong.
per unit
Wrong. How many units did you finish working on equivalently?
9,600.
What about the 2,400 that you have not yet worked on? If you have
Yes,
not
yes,
worked
yes,
on
yes.
them, how can you incur a cost for them?
Okay. Understood.
Haripriya, right?
No, Rachita sir.
Rajita, how much cost you incurred?
$10 lakh, sir.
Shabash. How many units are ready?
9,600.
What about these?
These are still to be
अरे काम ही
converted.
नहीं किया इस पे, तो खर्चा कहाँ से होएगा?
Got it.
I'm coming to you and saying, it's your birthday. Buy me something. Give me a party for your birthday. Treat me. Saying, get lost, man. It's not my birthday. It's not my birthday. If it were, I would.
Sir.
It's not my birthday. It's as good as that. You understand what I'm trying to say?
Yes, sir. Yes.
It's like that, right? Screenshots, please. Screenshots, please.
So, sir, for this 2,400, we will show this one as closing stock.
No, this 2,400 will not be closing stock. These 2,400 from an equivalent units production will not be a part of closing stock. 9,600 will be.
So, what we will do for this 2,000?
I'm sorry.
So, what we will do for this 2,400?
2,400
We will leave
will be
this.
reported as 12,000 units, 80% ready. That's it. That's it. They are a WIP. They are a WIP. These 2,400
not-
are a WIP which will be finished in the next period. In this period, there's nothing you can do about it because the period is over and you are able to finish 80% of the work.
So next period, what value we will take?
In the next period, your value will be whatever is the opening stock, the closing stock of WIP will become the opening stock of WIP. Opening stock of WIP does not mean that that includes the 20% work that you have done. That will be the current period's cost of production at that particular point in time. Allow me to explain it with a numerical example.
Yes, sir.
Is this done, everyone? Screenshots are taken?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, 1 million is actual overhead cost, 100% actual. There's no standard in this. This is process costing. Everything is going on actuals right now. We are not looking at any budgets. We are not looking at any budgets. Everything is only and only actual. There are no standard costs here. Right? I mark this as one of the most important questions in your syllabus for this particular unit, question number 57. I mark this as one of the most important questions in your entire syllabus. Your this particular unit syllabus. And I guarantee you that this kind of question, if you go wrong in, you will find more and more coming of this. And this is what the algorithm of your USCMA exams is all about. I want you to be very, very careful. I want you to be very, very careful when you're dealing with this question. Let us first read the question. Oster Manufacturing uses a weighted average process costing system. And it has the following cost activity during October. We are looking at October. October started with respect to materials having a 40,000 cost and a conversion cost of 32,000. But this was restricted only to the opening WIP. This was restricted only to what? The opening WIP. This was not at all related. This was not at all related to anything else. Fair enough. Fair enough. Now pay attention. The current period's production is 7 lakhs and 6,17,500 in overheads. The total production cost on all units apart from your opening stock is 13,17,500. The production completed is 60,000 units and the work in progress is 20,000 units. All the materials are introduced at the starting of the manufacturing process and the conversion cost is incurred uniformly throughout the production process. It shows that all the materials are ready, they are done for, and overheads will be incurred slowly but steadily. Conversations with the plant personnel have revealed that on an average, the month-end in process inventory is approximately 25% completed. Fair enough. Assuming that there is no spoilage, how much should Oster's October manufacturing cost be for production that is completed and for whatever is work in progress? Now, my dear friends, production that is completed. Now here, I'll have to write the solution in the notebook. And I'll have to keep doing Alt tab. So I request complete concentration on your part. No distractions, please. Now, I want you first of all to understand that production cost will comprise of two items, material and conversion cost. Production cost is all those products or all those units they will comprise of materials and overheads. They will comprise of materials and overheads. Now, saying only overheads is wrong. It has to be material and labor plus overheads, because conversion cost is that. So instead of writing labor plus overheads everywhere, I am going to use the word materials and conversion, because conversion is nothing but labor plus overhead. Right? Now, I'm writing a note. Materials, just hold on for 1 second. Materials are introduced. Materials are introduced at the beginning of the production period, and hence they are assumed to be 100% done, even if we have, how much WIP we have? Even if we have 20,000 units, these 20,000 units, can you see this 20,000? This 20,000 units, even if I have these 20,000 units in WIP, these 20,000 units are completely ready. Even if we have 20,000 units, they are completely ready from the perspective of materials. They are completely ready from the perspective of materials. Now, what is the material cost incurred? Material cost incurred can be clearly seen here to be 40,000 and this 7 lakhs. This is the material cost incurred. This is the material cost incurred. How many units? On how many units? Production completed in how many units? 60,000. You incurred it on the 60,000. But you also incurred it on this 20,000, because these 20,000 are ready from the perspective of materials. Are we clear about this? From a conversion perspective, are only 25% ready. How much percent are they ready? Only 25% they are ready. Therefore, what are the equivalent units? 60,000 that are fully ready plus 20,000 into 25% that are partially ready. So how many units are ready? 65,000 units are equivalently ready. 65,000 units are equivalently ready. Are you understanding this? Yes or no, please tell me. From conversion cost angle. From conversion cost angle. Now, what are the conversion costs incurred? 32,500 and 6,17,500. $6,50,000 units, 65,000 units, 65,000. Cost per unit 10. Cost per unit how much? 10. So, what is the cost per unit that you are saying that you have incurred? From materials angle, your cost per unit is 9.25. And from conversion cost, it is 10. What is the total cost per unit? 19.25. What is the total cost per unit? 19.25. Now they are saying, calculate the cost of production and calculate the cost of WIP. Calculate the cost of production and calculate the WIP. I request you all to take a screenshot of this. This is crucially important. Take a screenshot, please. Is it taken? Can I move ahead? Is it taken? Can I move ahead? Can someone please respond?
Yes, sir, taken.
Yes, sir.
Now, it is 19.25. This is for cost of production will be for what? Cost of production will be for completed units. What are the completed units in this particular period? They are 60,000. How do you know this? It's clearly given in the question. Production completed 60,000 units. I hope it can be seen by all. Production completed is how many units? 60,000 units. I hope this can be seen by one and all. Production completed is how many units? 60,000. Yes or no, please tell me. Can you see this clearly? Let me go ahead. This comes to how much? This comes to 19.25 multiplied by 60,000 is 11,55,000. What is this? This is cost of production. Now, I need cost of WIP. What are the units in WIP? I have got 20,000 units in WIP. Okay. What is the material cost? 9.25. Material is how many percent ready? 100% ready. Means for 20,000 units multiplied by 100% which is ready, I have incurred 9.25 per unit, which comes to 2,35,000. 9.25 multiplied by 20,000, it comes 9.25 multiplied by 20,000, it comes to, I'm so sorry, 1,80,000. I'm so sorry, it comes to 1,85,000. I beg pardon, 1,85,000. I beg pardon, 1,85,000. So 20,000 units are in WIP. They are 100% ready from the perspective of materials. Means all these 20,000 units have incurred 9.25 per unit. So I have already incurred this much. This shows that I have already incurred this much in period of production. In my period of production. Now let's talk about conversion. Conversion cost 10 per unit. And these guys are 25% ready. Means out of these 20,000 units, which are 25% ready, on those units I have incurred 10 per unit. So how much is that? So 20,000 into 25% into 10. How much I have incurred? I have incurred 50,000. This is the conversion cost incurred now. What about balance 75%? Next period. So in this period, how much on WIP? 185 plus 150. 235. How much? 235. Just hold on. Can you find this? Yes. See this. The first one. And this here is the second one. And for this, there was a very detailed answer that we have made. Please take a screenshot of this. Please take a screenshot of this. Please take a screenshot of this. Is this clear, guys? Cool? Thumbs ups? Yes or no?
So can you re-explain this sum?
Yeah. You want me to do the whole sum? What do you want me to do?
I didn't understand the material cost 9.25 and 19.25. What do you-
Sure. You have to assume that materials are 100% ready, even the production and the closing stock. So these 60,000 are 100% ready and this closing stock is 100% ready. Why? Because materials are introduced at the starting of the period. So what is my material? 80,000 units. Clear? What is the material cost? First 40,000 and second 7 lakhs. This cost is incurred for how many units? 80,000. What is the cost per unit? 9.25. Am I clear about this?
Yes, sir.
Now, my production, it is 9.25 per unit. Correct? What? Material. Now pay attention. My material is how much? 9.25 per unit. For how many units? 60,000. Why? I'm talking about production. Production will be 100% ready units. But sir, these 20,000 are ready from material perspective. But are they ready from conversion cost perspective? No. So they are going to be WIP only. So this is how much? 9.25 multiplied by 60,000. This comes to 5,55,000. Now I'm giving you microscopic breakup. Correct? Now let's talk about conversion cost. What is the total on conversion you have incurred? 32,500 and 6,17,500. For how many units? For 60,000 that were ready. And for these 20,000 that are 25% ready, which is nothing but 5,000. This comes to 10 per unit. So what about conversion? It is 10 per unit. For how many units? 60,000. Why? Because from a production angle, they're completely ready. So this comes to how much? 60,000. Sorry, 6 lakhs. Comes to how much? 6 lakhs. 6 lakhs plus 5,55,000 is 11,55,000. 11,55,000. First explanation is over. Understood? Yes or no? You tell me that.
In the 20,000, 25% are is completed. Why I have not taken the 5,000 units?
Why I have not?
The 5,000 units.
Yeah, because this is 20,000 multiplied by 25%. This much is ready.
So in the conversion.
60,000 is fully ready. This is 100% ready. Production completed 60,000 units.
Okay, sir.
It's ready. It's completed. This is not ready. It's not complete. It's only 25% ready. It's only
No,
20%
sir, I'm
ready.
saying that in the conversion calculation you have done, you have written 60,000. Why not 65,000?
Where?
60,000
In
divided by.
materials, no, because it is assumed that materials are 100% ready. Materials are introduced at the start of the manufacturing process and it is incurred uniformly. So what happens? All materials are introduced at the beginning. What is the meaning of that? By the end of it, materials work is 100% ready. That is what I wrote in that note that you took a screenshot of with your eyes open, my child.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
You wrote it, no?
Yes, sir.
Why did I tell you that? Because this doubt is going to come. Why you are not writing 5 over here also? But that work material is 100% done. Got it?
Yes, sir.
But why you took only 5,000 here? Because that's only 25% done. Got it?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes. This was for what? This was for your conversion and your production. Now your WAP. Now pay attention. This is 10. What is WAP? WAP is how many units? 20,000. WAP also has two costs, material and overhead cost. Material cost is 9.25. Incurred for how many units? 60,000. Sorry, 20,000. Why? WIP is 20,000 units and they are 100% ready from material angle. So 9.25 multiplied by 20,000 comes to how much? 1,85,000. What about overheads? Overheads are 10 per unit, but they are only 25% ready from overhead perspective, which is 5,000. This is 50,000. How 5,000? 20,000 units are only 25% ready from the perspective of overheads, means equivalent to only 5,000 units. At what overhead price? At the rate of 10 per unit, calculated like this. So how much? 50,000. So what is the overheads? WIP total cost? 2,35,000. Understood?
Yes, sir. Understood.
Pakka?
Yes, sir.
Continuing with our exam support package. I said I want to do question 50. What did I say? 56. Yes. This is one hell of a question with a lot of conceptual depth to it. One hell of a question which we have to, more apply your mind as opposed to, the calculation. More apply your mind than the calculation. So let's get into this question. Very, very important. Very, very important. Conceptually, very, very important. Let us focus on each and every part of this sum. Colt company uses a weighted average process cost system to account for the cost of producing a chemical compound. As a part of production, a material B is added when the goods are 80% completed. Please understand, nowhere it is a rule that all materials have to be added at the start. It is an assumption of cost accounting. I have made a note on this. It's an assumption. But what about those specific products that required certain materials to be added after a certain point in time? Not before, but after a certain point in time. It's quite possible that while I am, let us say, manufacturing this red colored bottle, the red color is added after the bottle has taken shape. The red color is also a material. However, it is added after the bottle has taken shape. Therefore, it shows you that after the steel sheet has been processed, say 90%, then the color is added to it. Do you understand the concept? Yes or no? Please tell me that. Let's take a look at this. This is a pair of glasses. This pair of glasses has got a color over here at the side. So this color at the side, this color at the side, this red color at the side that is there. This red color is there. It is added at the end after the materials are 90% processed. So certain materials are added at the beginning, certain materials are added at the end or added in between. That depends on the subtlety and nuances of your product. Colt company uses a weighted average process cost system to account for the cost of producing a chemical compound. As part of production, material B is added when the goods are 80% completed. First, you finish your goods, make them 80% ready. First, you finish your goods and you make them 80% ready. First, you finish your goods, make them 80% ready, and then you will add material B. So it is a clear point over here that material B cannot be added before the goods are 80% ready. Are you with me on this? Do you understand this concept? Yes or no? Please tell me that. Are you
Yes,
with
sir.
me on this? Do you understand this concept that material B cannot be added until and unless the goods are 80% ready? Are you with me on that? Yes or no? Please tell me.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
First point I'm writing down is material B cannot be added until the goods are 80% ready. This is my first point that I make here. I'm going back to the question. The company started 70,000 additional units during the month. They started working on these many units during the month. These are units started. And at the following WIP inventories. At the beginning, you had 20,000 units, which are 90% complete. And at the ending, you have 25,000 units that are 60% completed. That is what you have. That is what you have. Now, how many equivalent units have been assigned at the end of the month? What are they asking you? How many equivalent units have been assigned at the end of the month? Now, this right here is a tough question. Why is this tough? Let's pay attention. See, please understand. Please understand that you had an opening stock of 20,000 units that are 90% completed. Can I say that material B can be added to this? Why? Because your goods have to be 80% ready for the material B to be added. Agreed or disagreed? Please tell me that. Agreed or disagreed? Please tell me that.
Yes, sir.
Material B can be added to the opening stock. Now, unit started. What does the question say? The question say that unit started are 70,000. How many units are started? 70,000 units are started. Okay. Out of those 70,000 units, 25,000 units are 60% completed. So can I say that? Units started are 70,000. And out of these 70,000 units, 25,000 units are 60% completed. If they are 60% completed, you cannot add material B to them. You cannot add material B to them. Why? Because they have to be 80% ready for material B to be added. Therefore, out of these 70,000 units, you can add material B. So the balance is fully ready. What is the balance? Means they are 100%. So 65,000 units are such that material B can be added. Only after material B is added, they are considered as getting ready for completion. But you don't need to say that. Are such that material B can be added. You cannot add material B to them. So what about 65,000? Sorry, this thing just went out of control. What about 65,000? Material B can be added. So although work is done, not done to the extent that it will allow the material to be added. Although work is done, not done to the extent that it will allow the material to be added. Are we clear about this? Are we clear about this?
Yes, sir.
So how many are ready? 65,000. How many equivalent units will material cost be assigned to? Only 65,000. So what is your answer? You cannot assign this cost to any other units because they are not that much percentage ready to take the material. You'll argue that this is 60% ready, but you have to be how much percent ready? You have to be 80% ready. No, only then you can take that. Otherwise, what's the point of that? Understanding, yes or no? Yes.
Yes, sir.
So I think, what is the question number? 56. Please take a screenshot. Please take a screenshot. Please take a screenshot. Please take a screenshot.
Done, sir.
Now, we have done 61. Let's go to 60. Nine is again weighted average. No, today we are not doing weighted average. We're doing Fifo today. 60 is first and first. During December, Cross Chemical Company has the following selected data concerning the manufacture of Zyzine, an industrial cleaner. Completed and transferred to the next department 100. Completed and transferred. Add ending inventory of ending WIP inventory. Total units to account for. Beginning WIP inventory. Units started in December. They have purposely given this jumbled up to you in a way that you get confused. All materials are adding at the beginning of this department and conversion costs are uniform. The beginning WIP had $120 of raw materials and $180 of conversion cost. Material added during December was $540 and conversion cost of $1484 are incurred. Cross uses the first in first out process costing method. Equivalent units of production used to calculate the conversion cost for December are how much? They want you to calculate what? Equivalent units. I'm going to give you a simple funda over here, and I've already given it to you. I've already given it to you. First, let me write that funda down for you. Now, let me write that funda down for you. First of all, opening stock. What do you do for opening stock? Units multiplied by percentage to be completed. To this, you will add units started and completed. What is the formula for this? Transferred minus full opening stock. To this, you will add closing stock. Units multiplied by percentage that is completed. Are we clear? Okay, let's go to your question book. Okay, they are coming in the way. Now, opening stock. First of all, opening stock. 60% completed from the perspective of conversion. So how much you will complete in this period? How much you will complete in this period? How much? 40%?
40%.
Correct?
Yes.
So 20 multiplied by 40%. How many units? 20 units multiplied by 40%. Units. Started and completed. Transferred minus full opening stock. Transferred. How many units are transferred? See,
100.
completed and transferred to the next department. 100. How many units are transferred? 100. And what is full opening stock? 20. Means 80 are started and completed. Closing stock. How many is closing stock? They have told you here. 10, 40% completed. Means in this period, how much work you have done? 40%. Means 10 into what? 40%. What is this? Equivalent units. What is this? Equivalent units. Are you all with me on that? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
But now you need to understand this equivalent units from perspective of conversion. From perspective of what? Conversion. Now, you need to understand that when it comes to material, there is no question of WIP because materials are added at the starting. So they are getting completed. But when it comes to conversion, it is staying incomplete. That is why you are having equivalent units here. Materials will have no equivalent units. Materials are ready in all sense of the word. This 10 also of closing stock is ready for material. Please understand. This 40% work you have done or that you have to do, it is only for conversion. This 40% work you have done, it is for conversion. But from material angle, these 100 units are ready. Please understand that. Please understand that. Take a screenshot. I forgot the question was 60, no? 60, I think. 60. Take a screenshot. Okay. Haripriya, I read your message. I'll talk to you about it. D. Was that answer is D? 92. Is the answer D? Chalo, correct. Answer is D. Shabas. So my dear friends, what we completed over here in today's lecture, we have completed cost allocation. We have completed cost allocation and we have completed equivalent units calculation from the perspective of what? From the perspective of FIFO. Tomorrow I'll do VAM and then I have to do joint product costing. So I'll put a halt here and I'll take up VAM tomorrow. You revise this much and come for the lecture. I will put VAM into your heads tomorrow. And whatever you do, I want you to remember that this formula that I've given you will be used everywhere. This format is specifically this format. Memorize this. Understood, guys? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, just a second. You've raised your hand. I'll just come to you. Your doubts are pertaining to absorption. Now pay attention. Any fixed cost is fixed over a range. Agreed or disagreed?
Agreed, sir.
Let me assume that your fixed cost, right, of $7,50,000, your fixed cost of $7,50,000 is for a range of 0 to 15,000 units. Do you agree or disagree to this? This is your range. Correct? So whether
Yes,
you
sir.
make 0 units, what is your cost?
750.
Or if you make 15,000 units, what is your cost?
750.
What is your objective? It will always be what? To recover full 750. Agreed or disagreed?
Agreed.
What you are trying to say is you want to recover 7,50,000 divided by 15,000, which is equal to how much? 50 per unit. How much?
50
50
per
per
unit.
unit. Now suppose you produced 14,000. How much you produced?
14,000.
This is to be recovered per unit. How much you are recovering over here?
7 lakhs.
This is recovered. How much is spent? This is actually a cash outflow. इतने का खर्चा हुआ है, इतना भाड़ा भरी हो,
750.
कितना? So what about 50,000? Could not recover this.
Hmm.
Why? Less activity.
Hmm.
Which is a loss.
Hmm.
But you got
Okay.
some bloody crazy technology, and although 15,000 tha, you showed that you could make how many? 16,000. So you recovered extra how much? 1,000 units. At what rate?
50.
How much you recovered?
50,000. Over absent.
It's a gain. Gains are always favorable. Under absorption is always unfavorable. Clear?
Yes, sir. Clear.
Now keep one thing in mind. Now I'll ask you a question before you go. Understand this before you go. Standard budget is for 1 unit at the rate of 2 hours per unit, remunerated at the rate of $15 per labor hour. Is this clear?
Yes, sir.
Your actual performance is of 75,000 units and it takes you 2.25 hours per unit and you remunerate this at the rate of $13.75 per hour. Calculate actual cost, normal cost, and standard cost. Now you solve this in front of me. You tell me what into what I will write. You answer this correctly, you have understood. Otherwise, this concept is blocked in your head. You need to give it a rest and do it after 1 or 2 days. In 1 or 2 days, are you going anywhere? I am also not, so don't get scared. Okay, let's do actual first. Actual is actual into actual, everything actual.
Yes.
Correct? Yes or no? You tell me that.
Yes, sir.
How many units?
75,000
Taking 2.25 hours per unit
at the rate of
at the rate
13.75.
of 13.75. What will happen? 75,000 multiplied by 2.25 multiplied by 13.75. What is your answer? 23, 20, 312, 5. Correct? This is your answer.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now normal. What is normal? Actual hours multiplied by standard rate. Correct?
Yes, sir.
75,000 multiplied by 2.25 multiplied by 15. 25, 31, 250. Standard करके दिखा.
Actual 75,000 units
Correct.
into 2 into 15. Everything standard.
Perfect answer. 75,000 into 2 into 15. What is this? 22.5 lakh. Got it?
Yes, sir.
Now why you took 75? इधर तो एक
Actual
unit है. Why you took? So here you should take one. No. What did you do? You made a flexible budget out of this. In your flexible
Yes.
budget, you will also have 75,000 units. It will take a standard time of 2 hours per unit, and you will remunerate them at the rate of 15 per hour. So your standard costing is nothing but a flexible budget. Yes or no? You tell me that.
Yes, sir.
What is
Got it.
standard budget? Standard budget is 175 pounds wrestler. Your opponent is 294 pounds. What is flexible budget? This has also become 294 pounds. Now they can fight with each other. Understand that? Are you with me?
Yes, sir.
100%?
Yes, sir.
Finished. Any more doubts?
Thank you, sir.
No problem. You can take a screenshot of this if you want. And it's
Taken,
not
sir.
just Tanna. Anybody of you who have got doubts, just ask. Have you, who's the eldest family member in your house? Eldest, oldest person at home. Most old.
My uncle,
Uncle. May I ask you his age?
61.
61 years. At one point in time, this gentleman must have been 20 years old. At one point in time.
Yes, sir.
How old are you today?
19.
You are also 20 years old. Correct?
19, sir.
Let's assume you're 20. You will become
Okay,
20.
sir. Okay, sir.
MashaAllah, that day will be a good, beautiful day. You will become 20. Right? Happy
Yes,
birthday.
sir.
Your uncle is also 20. How much you spend on traveling today? Suppose you spend 1,000 rupees on traveling. How much your uncle used to spend on traveling? 150 rupees. His 150 rupees are equivalent to how much of today? 1,000. You understand the meaning of the term equivalent to start with? You understand the dictionary meaning of this now? Equivalent does not mean the same, but approximately equal.
Okay, sir.
Messi is not equal to Ronaldo. They are equivalent. They are the best players in the world. They are equivalent. Are you understanding what I'm trying to say? What
Yes,
are they?
sir. Yes.
They are equivalent. Sachin Tendulkar was equivalent to Brian Lara, was equivalent to Ricky Ponting. They were the three greatest batsmen. Right?
Yes, sir.
Understanding what I'm trying to say? Equivalent. Understood? They're in the
Yes,
same
sir.
class. Now, you have started work on 1000 books. How many books?
10,000.
10,000 books. These books have two processes: printing and binding. Can you give me only loose sheets of paper? Or will you give me a whole bloody book? What will you give me?
A whole book.
Printing job is 100% ready. Means how many books are printed and ready?
10,000.
Binding job is 80% ready. How many books are printed and how many books are ready to go out?
8,000.
Understood?
Yes, sir.
Equivalent. So how many units? 8,000 units. Now my printing cost is $15,000. What is my cost per unit? 1.5. Agreed or disagreed?
Agreed, sir.
My binding cost is 24,000. What is my cost per unit? 3. How much it is?
3.
Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
What is my total cost of manufacturing? It is printing plus binding. How much in printing? 1.5. How much in binding? 3. Got it?
2.5. Yes, sir.
Now I'm saying, now completely disconnected. Now I'm saying, suppose $5,000 books are ready. What is the cost of production? What will your answer be?
22,500.
Got it?
Yes, sir.
What will it be?
22,500.
22,500. Got it?
Yes, sir.
100%?
100%.
Are you sure?
Yes, sir. Sure.
Oh, I lost it. But you understood it, right? You understood it, right?
Yes, sir. Understood. Understood.
So it will come on YouTube. You watch it, you can write it down.